Hello everyone. In the present video, I will discuss about what is Marxism. As we know, Marxism is one of the leading sociological perspective and a school of thought. Marxism may have another interpretation as a political ideology. So our focus is on understanding Marxism as a sociological perspective. Marxism here means a particular way of understanding society, a particular way of understanding society in the modern time, in the present time, and this Marxism derived from the works of Karl Marx. Karl Marx focused on capitalist society and its various issues. So Marxism is a particular kind of sociological perspective that tries to understand how a particular kind of society, that is capitalist society, works. Now come to the point that Marxism focused on certain ideas. Marxism basically focused on certain ideas. So what are these ideas? Main idea is class conflict. Marxism believes that capitalist society has class conflict. Now, what is this class conflict? Class conflict means the differentiation and the conflict of interest between or among classes. Now, here Marxism, particularly Karl Marx, has mentioned about two classes, bourgeoisie and proletariat. Bourgeoisie means capitalist, proletariat means working class. According to him, the capitalist society has these two classes and there can develop a form of class conflict between these two classes. Why there can be class conflict, that also he discussed, because of the exploitation of our proletariat by capitalist class. So if capitalist class exploits the proletariat would feel dissatisfied and oppressed. So there would be the conflict, and conflict will ultimately leads to the revolution, large scale movement, and the result of revolution would be the overthrowing of capitalist regime or domination. And then what would happen? There would be socialist stage of society or socialist state. That is his anticipation. So this is the most important idea of Marxism, that capitalist society has this tendency of creating or developing class conflict between two classes, proletariat and bourgeoisie. Now here another important point that Marxism focused, why there would be class conflict. As I have already mentioned, because of the exploitation of the capitalist. Now what kind of exploitation? Here Marxism also conceptualized this exploitation. It is alienation. Alienation is a kind of exploitation that exists in the capitalist society. Who do alienation? Capitalists do alienation. Who are the victims of alienation? Proletariats are the victims of alienation. Now there are different forms of alienation, types of alienation again, that I will discuss in any other video. Now alienation is a form of exploitation. Now this exploitation is not enough. Again, Marxism also believes that if there develops a class consciousness among the proletariat, then only this class conflict will happen or will develop. Because exploitation of our proletariat is not sufficient. there must be class consciousness. So Marxism here believes that the proletariat have the class consciousness in the capitalist society. Class consciousness here means their consciousness of being exploited, oppressed and suppressed by the capitalists. Their consciousness of being oppressed. And because of their consciousness, they come into conflict of interest with the capitalist. So here point is that just mere exploitation is not enough. The class consciousness among proletariat is also important for class conflict. And the end result of the class conflict is the revolution, that is large scale movement in the entire society. And when revolution erupts, there may be disorderly situation in the state, in the society, and that ultimately leads to a positive uh, stage for human society in the name of socialism, that according to Marxism will definitely come after the overthrowing of capitalist regime. So these are the basic idea of Marxism. Now in sociology, when a scholar, when a researcher tries to understand society from Marxian point of view, he or she tries to see if there is any form of class conflict, if there is any kind of class differentiation, class gap, how class stratification, class formation occurs, how class stratification maintains in the society. So every society has the class stratification. Now Marxian perspective is relevant in this sense, that how society arranges its various classes, how various classes are maintaining the relationship among themselves. Of course, there are other sociological perspectives that also deals with these issues. So Marxism is one such perspective that deals with these issues of the society. So this much is the present video. I will continue this discussion in the next video. Thank you very much for watching.